Hello and welcome to Community Conversations. I'm your host, KK Kaneshiro. As we enter the new year, a big change is coming to Fremont Unified in 2019. It's the start of the district's conversion of its 5 junior high school to a middle school format. Walters Junior High School will be the first to make the switch in time for the 2019-2020 school year, followed by the other 4 schools over the next 3 years. With the transitions comes plenty of construction along with changes to curriculum, staffing, and schedules. Here to give us an update on what the students and families can expect for is FUSD Facilities Director John Swastik, Program Manager for Middle School Transition Jason Kane, and Walters Junior High School Principal Brian Weems, who is here to tell us what we can expect. Thank you so much for being here. Now, I have a first question that I want to pop up to you guys because it is confusing out there from people I talk to. They don't know the difference between junior high school versus a middle school. A lot of people think you're just changing the name, but I know it's more than that. And who would like to answer the question?
I'd love to answer that. Junior high, which has always been here at Fremont, is 7-8. So 7th grade, 8th grade.
Okay.
Middle school is when 6th grade joins the 7-8. So you have 3 grades. And in the state of California, middle school is actually the majority of the percent. It's a very minor percentage that are junior high still.
Okay, great. So now that we're doing this conversion, can you bring us up to date? Because this conversion plan has been in the works for a while now, but can you give us an update of how everything is going? I don't know if John or Jason want to open up with this.
I can take that.
Okay.
Well, we have the 5 middle schools, and 2 of which are in construction right now, and that would be Walters and Horner. The other 3 are in planning, and so, but things are going well. Actually, with Walters, it came in on budget. Horner, unfortunately, we're experiencing cost escalations and things, and so it is
of course
a little higher.
Yeah.
But it is actually proceeding as planned, and it's on schedule.
Okay. Now I know that there was a delay for the conversion of Horner for the 2021 year. How was that decision made, and why was it made?
It was primarily made. It has a few different ramifications to it, but one thing that we were realizing is that their risks were increasing as durations were going on. The contractors still can make that schedule, and they're working to make that schedule. The problem is that as risks increase with what we've experienced with the fires in Northern California, and actually had some days that we couldn't work. OSHA actually stopped the job a few days.
Okay.
And so things like that, those are unexpected risks. And once you're planning something so big as a middle school conversion, not just a new building or something like that, this is a really big deal. So a lot went into it, and we presented to the board that, you know, a few options. We said, okay, we can make this schedule, but the risks are increasing. We can still do it, but do you want to consider another option?
Okay.
And so from a programmatic point of view or a functional point of view with the students and staff, maybe one of you can chime in on that as well?
You know, I think the biggest thing was we're going to have quite a few students be displaced if there was any kind of a delay. And with Fremont moving to the middle school and having the 6th graders come, you know, such a big change here for the school district, we wanted to ensure that this program was going to be the best suited and be rolled out at the best time possible. So we wanted to be fully ready for those 6th graders.
Okay. Great. Now you mentioned the fires. Can you explain to our viewers why that impacts Fremont when the fires were like in paradise?
What that does is a few things. Number one, we had a few stoppage days because of the smoke that was in the air.
Right.
Other things are materials and labor. And so when something catastrophic like that happens, you'll lose some labor. I mean, people know people, they're going to miss days of work, they're going to have various other things. They're going to start working on those places, not necessarily to construct anything, but really to save and help, you know, people. So you lose your labor, you have some shortages there, and as time goes on, you're going to have material shortages as well. Plywood's going to be scarce. You know, the concrete resources are going to be harder to get. And with that, then there's cost escalation. And so there's a lot of difficulties that go into it when you have natural disasters or things like that.
Now, you guys got the approval from the board, but how are you communicating this to families?
Just in so many avenues, just to name many of them, newsletters. We also have parent nights that
good,
we
good.
kind of open forums. That even started 3 years ago with the Middle School Instructional Task Force. Also, we have Bright Arrow, which is a phone line which makes sure that they know when those parent nights are.
Okay.
And then just constant staff meetings, going and talking to PTSA and many ways like that.
Okay.
And with the Horner, with the delay in Horner, there was a letter that was drafted and it was sent out to all the affected families, as well as to the school
Good,
sites,
good.
To their staff and to their principals, as soon as possible.
Yeah, so hopefully no one's caught off guard,
Yes.
which is great.
And as we move into the registration time of the year, in March, we're going to have, just Walters specifically, it's going to have 2 separate nights. We usually have a 6th grade parent night. Now we're going to have a 5th grade parent night and a 6th grade parent night, and be able to answer any last minute questions they have as we move into this transition.
That's great. Okay. Walters Junior High is set to become a middle school for the next school year, which is great. Can you tell us about the new construction and what students can expect?
It's pretty neat. The last couple of years, we've been retrofitting the existing buildings.
Okay.
So what an uplift! It's been great. Just new HVAC and electric and lighting and paint and it's been really neat. And students and parents are excited to come to school to see just kind of an uplift of the whole campus. But then the 3 new buildings, which will be a total of 22 classrooms.
Okay.
I have teachers right now saying, "Oh, I'm going to be in one of those classrooms, right?" So, but that's going to be exciting for not only the staff that's there already,
Yeah.
but our incoming 6th grade staff.
Okay, speaking of staff, and the curriculum, is this going to affect them in any way besides getting new things?
Curriculum, no.
Okay.
The 6th grade curriculum doesn't change.
Okay.
It's just a different format of where the 6th grade is going to be. And as far as the curriculum or the electives, that's going to stay the same with 7 and 8, and then 6th grade is going to come in. Now, specific to Walters Junior High, we are going to open up a band to 6th grade. That's going to be
Nice.
very different
Nice.
than probably the other middle schools as they transition into that.
Okay. So now that you're adding the 6th grade to a middle school, do teachers have to be recertified in teaching a different grade as well, or is it just all encompassed with
And
7
so-
and 8th?
I can answer
Go
that
ahead.
question. Yeah. So I've been working, we have to understand that at the elementary sites, those 6th grade teachers will be jobless,
Yes.
as those 6th graders move to the junior high. So really what we've been doing is ensuring that those 6th grade teachers, those credentials, those multiple subject credentials, can carry over and be taught and be
Good.
utilized at that middle school.
Okay.
So, we're really looking at that this is an opportunity that's going to be a true transition into the secondary level,
Okay.
for those 6th graders, for future success, not just at the middle school level, but in high school as well.
Perfect.
And to be able to use that multiple subject credential, they have to teach a core, which has to be 2 subjects. So 6th grade teachers will be either teaching math and science or English and history.
Okay. So there is new construction going on at Horner. Okay. Can you describe what the campus is going to look like?
It's
As in,
basically
besides
a
a shiny new penny.
it'll be a nickel.
Okay. Okay.
It is. It's going to be shiny new buildings. It's
Okay.
basically a new campus.
Nice.
There will be a few buildings. The multipurpose building. I mean, the gym, the multipurpose gym will be remaining, and so there will be some portable classrooms over on the side too. But the whole field area, the new buildings, 2-story construction for the most part.
Wow.
And it will have indoor-outdoor spaces, and it's basically, I think it's going to be beautiful.
That's great. Have you been giving tours for families so they can see what's been going on?
There's nothing, it's a construction site right now.
Okay.
So you can see the 2 stories, you can see the steel going up, but you can't go into the construction area right now.
Okay.
And I think, currently Horner's right next to Hirsch Elementary. So you have the junior high and the elementary school that are right next to each other, and so there's a lot of traffic congestion that happens in the morning and after school. Also having elementary and junior high kids, merging on campuses. So with the relocation of where the Horner is going to be off of Irvington Avenue, I think that's really going to help, minimize the traffic as well.
So is there any preparation for, I used to be in elementary, now I'm going to be in middle school for like the sixth graders. I mean, because that's a big change.
It is.
Yes.
We have what's called WEB, which stands for Where Everyone Belongs, and and it's when we did the middle school instructional task force, which I was a part of, we went to a lot of new schools that transitioned just recently from junior high to middle school. They all consistently said have WEB in your program, and it really welcomes the new students. So for Walters next year, it'll be our incoming 6th and 7th graders that'll be completely new. So our 8th graders have a lot of work to do because they're going to be really mentoring and bringing in a lot of different programs and making sure that they really feel welcome at the new middle school.
So if I'm an 8th grader, what would my job be?
It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop the first time. So in August we have a full day where they come in, and we have close to about 60 8th graders that will be doing a lot of different games and programs with them. Obviously tours and stuff like that. But that's just the first day. It consistently goes throughout the school year. Things like crafts after school with your mentored 8th grader, and they'll have a group of probably about 4 or 5 6th or 7th graders. So it'll keep going all the way to June.
That's great.
Yeah.
And a few other things, we've had a after-school movie day in the library, and utilizing the new library technology at Walters. I know at Horner they've done a Halloween carnival, and the greatest thing about WEB is that it's all student-led.
Yes, that is.
Teachers and faculty were overseeing the whole process, but it's all student-driven, student-led, and the students are really enjoying it.
That's great. Now, as a principal, what are you hearing from parents? Are they excited? Are you nervous?
They're nervous, but they're also excited, and this has been in the works for 4 years. So it's kind of,
it's not a surprise.
It's not a surprise, yeah. And we have folded it out really nice and slow, and have made sure that they have had a chance to do surveys and give out their inputs in the parent forums. So they're still a little nervous, but also excited, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, good, good.
And one thing I've been doing, I've been going out to the elementary schools and hosting parent nights. Talking to the parents, with the affected elementary sites. So by the end of February, I would have touched base on all the elementary schools in the Walters attendance area.
Okay.
And have had very positive feedback from the parents. And when we rolled out the programs and talked about WEB and what it would look like and how it's truly going to be a transition to the secondary level,
right,
as opposed to throwing them just to 6 classes and 6 different teachers, kind of an idea, they've been very receptive to that message. Good. And so they feel a little reassured after those meetings.
I bet. That's great. Now, I'm going to run back to you. You had mentioned because of the rising costs and with all the devastations that California has been affected by all the fires, but how are you doing budget-wise with the rising costs, with lack of labor because they're all helping the areas in need? Are we still on budget, or are we doing okay?
Well, it is clearly challenging times right now. The good news is we've all the way up until the end of 2017 and going into 2018, almost all of our projects were on budget. We didn't see the cost escalations outside of the historical norms. Going into the late 2017 and 18, it started escalating more than norms.
Right.
And so when I said that Walters was on budget, that was bid before that time frame. They came in literally on budget. Wow. And so, but when Horner, the second project, came through, we've started experiencing a lot of the shortages, a lot of the budget increase. increases and things like that. But we've had a competitive bidding process. We've been using a lease-leaseback model and a project delivery method, and it's still very transparent. And so every trade or every package that we've been bidding out has had multiple bids, so it is competitive. And we've been getting the lowest bids and that we could, but they're still coming in much more over budget. So Horner is over budget. But we're hoping that, in the future, through a whole program of Measure E, that they go back to historical norms of escalation.
Right.
Because that is then our budget. So we're a little bit high right now, but we've got hopes that it's going to come down. Don't know exactly when, but
yeah. And it's not,
soon.
I mean, yes, your budget's a little hot or out of whack right now, but it's not because of anything we've done.
No, it's
so I think people understand that Paradise needs help. So we got to think about that. Can you remind us the resources that are available for families to find out more information about any district's middle school conversions? Should they didn't go to any parent meetings, they didn't for whatever reason, because parents have busy lives, as we all know. But if there's any website besides the school district, is there a separate one? Is there someone they can talk to because for whatever reason they weren't able to make any of the meetings that you guys had scheduled?
There's a section in the Fremont Unified School District website that is just dedicated to the middle school conversion.
Nice.
So go into that. You'll be able to see the archives of surveys and Q&As that we have been doing for the last 4 years, all the way to recent. And then as far as talking to someone, us being the first school, Walters Junior High into middle school, call me, email me. I am open for conversation. Anytime someone has a question or just wants to is a little worried and wants to be talked down a little bit, call me up. So.
Okay. And you wanted to add something?
Yes. So as we get a little closer to finalizing our details of what this program is going to look like and be rolled out, and we're getting closer, we're going to continue to update that district website as well.
Perfect.
I know I've been working with to create a timeline of communication, and what we're trying to do is take my role and what I'm doing and aligning it with the district communication, so we're really on key and on point. We've already done a pretty good job aligning our communication and outreach to families and community members, but it's really we're going to fine-tune it throughout this year to really be able to roll it out for each and every middle school for the next several years.
That's great. That's great. Well, thank you so much. I have to cut you off. Sorry. But thank you so much for being on the show and giving this update. This has been wonderful. I wish you the best of luck. If anyone can do it, I know you three can. No pressure, but you can do this. From everyone here at Community Conversations, we appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time. Thank you.